We, the Rosa Parks community, are here in front of you again because PPS has a long and proven history of failing students of color. So I want to start my speech by reminding you that PPS's own equity lens policy states that the district must intentionally involve stakeholders who are members of impacted communities before making decisions. That hasn't happened for Rosa Parks. Community engagement happens when there are relationships in place and trust is built. If you were intentionally involving the community, you would have told us the metrics you are using to measure the success of our calendar. You would have asked parents and teachers whether they wanted to keep the calendar. You would have kept district staff who had relationships with our community, like Carl Logan and Scott Whitbeck, working within our community. Instead, we are working again with the same district representative that harmed us 3 years ago, and another who has been the chief of schools for 5 weeks. It is demoralizing. What was the point of extending us last March if PPS was just going to procrastinate until November to meet with teachers and parents before the vote today? We are almost to spring break, and our community again has no answer for what their lives will look like come June. Knowing district leadership failed us these last 5 years, why did the board sit back idle while leadership was failing us again this year? The superintendent has never sat down with our teachers to hear our grievances. Never asking a marginalized community what they want is oppressive. Is it the district's intention to alienate and segregate our community until we grow tired and give up? What if I could remind you of our namesake, Rosa Parks, who in the spirit of equity and equality refused to segregate herself to the back of the bus? Our students at Rosa Parks also refused to sit at the back of the PPS bus just because it is a mere inconvenience for the district. Schools like Da Vinci and MLC do not completely align with your schedule, and yet they exist and are not set up to fail 6 years in a row. Alignment is not equity. Offering us a summer program that has not been approved or co-created by our community is community division. Since PPS hasn't done enough real community engagement at our school, let me tell you about Rosa Parks Elementary, the island, the school that never gets its materials on time, whether we are year-round or not. The school that struggles with attendance, test scores, and poverty, whether we are year-round or not. The calendar has obstacles which could have been navigated if the district had been willing to engage with our community and make a plan. If you had been willing to listen to the 71% of Rosa Parks educators that want to continue the year-round schedule. You have not worked with us to improve our interventions, attendance, and test scores with our black and brown students. You have not measured the 19 different first languages and those who come to our school with no prior education. You have not measured the 86% student body of color that has a teacher of color in every grade level. You have not measured our abnormally high teacher retention rate in a Title I school. You have not measured the value of having a black student being taught by a black teacher. Nor have you measured the social emotional value of providing a population of kids that are 95% free and reduced lunch a safe place to learn throughout the year. Because how do you put on paper what having a year-round school can mean to a student who may be homeless or dealing with severe trauma during the long summer months? We've tried a summer school before and it failed. Students did not attend, and it was staffed by substitutes who lacked the relationships necessary to serve our high-need students. Can the district not lead us and work with our community partners to find a workable solution for childcare, snacks, community engagement, effective interventions, on-time curriculum, and provide us with a permanent, supported, year-round calendar? Who should be given the priority within the district? Economically sound majority white schools or disenfranchised communities of color? Racist policies are any measure that maintain racial inequity between racial groups. Voter suppression, segregation, discrimination are common themes on the island of Rosa Parks Elementary. In the spirit of Rosa Parks, we say our students deserve to sit at the front of the bus.